If you remember driving Otto's convertible school bus, aerodynamic Mayor Quimby, and running over the Springfield mascot, then you grew up playing the Simpsons Road Rage. But which one? Because there were two different versions released across 4 consoles, and in this video we're going to compare each of them. But first, let's set the scene. The early 90s saw an avalanche of 2D Simpsons games as part of the Simpsons mania that took over the world. By the early 2000s, the Simpsons golden age had come to an end, however the franchise was still incredibly strong, and so Fox decided to transition it to 3D video games. Their first attempt, 2001 Simpsons Wrestling, was interesting. See my interview with its developers here. But that was a PlayStation 1 game. The Simpsons' next outing was going to be on the brand new 6th generation of consoles, and Fox, along with the game's developer Radical Entertainment, knew they needed to make a game that could take advantage of the next-gen hardware. So they took Crazy Taxi and set it in Springfield. The result? 3 million units sold. But how good was the game itself, and was it really just a Crazy Taxi clone? Well, let's start by taking a look at the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox version. I'll compare the graphics of these 3 versions a little later on, but their content and gameplay is pretty much identical. We start with the opening cutscene, and it's funny, you'd think the world's most famous animated show would have an animated opening, but no, they decided to go for a fully 3D one, and you can tell the developers were still very much trying to figure out how to make the show look 3-dimensional. There are no character outlines or cell shading. This looks more like the Homer 3D segment from the Treehouse of Horror. Now, this cutscene acts as a rationalization for why all of Springfield has decided to do the Crazy Taxi. Turns out that Mr. Burns has purchased the city's transit system and replaced it with his own brand of radioactive buses that threaten public health.
Please kill me. That poor man. I hope someone does kill him.
Ah, good old wholesome Marge. The citizens of Springfield must now earn money to buy out Burns and return things back to normal.
Just get to the game already!
Now, gameplay-wise, it's pretty much Crazy Taxi. Sega even sued Fox for it. You pick a character and do taxi runs around Springfield against the clock. The faster you are, the more money you will earn. But a big part of the fun was all the chaos that you can cause, like straight up running over characters before picking them up.
Hey, Homer, just get me out of here.
Huh, he doesn't seem to mind. I guess he still feels guilty about the whole Flaming Moe's incident. That's right, nothing and no one is safe from Homer's vehicular wrath. Ambulances, police cars, and the town mascot can all get it.
I give that ride a C.
Now, one of the game's biggest strengths is that it retains the show's signature humor and feels authentic thanks to the original voice actors.
Still ain't tipping yet, I'm Scottish.
Safe and sound. See you around, dirtbag.
Hello, Homer. In need of some salvation today, are we?
You also don't just drop characters off at random locations. Usually there is a reason why they need to be there.
Take me to the retirement castle, please. I need a cadaver to practice on.
Take me to Grandma's world. I'm horny.
Take me to the Maison Derriere. This coupon for free lap dances expires in 5 minutes.
You got it.
Hold on, Marge, didn't you try to knock that place down? Naturally, Marge and Homer quickly put their young children to work, but I guess being an Uber driver isn't as bad as literally beating each other up. Plus, their teachers also seem more than happy to exploit them for a ride.
Bart, don't worry. We're both playing hooky today.
And I've always found it funny how the adults can barely fit into Bart's soapbox car. Also, can we take a moment to appreciate that the PlayStation 2 save icon is the dancing Homer mascot? Road Rage is the main gameplay mode. You drive around trying to make as much money as possible, and reaching these monetary targets will let you unlock new areas and cars. And eventually you get Burns to sell the transit system back to the town. There are a total of 17 cars. You've got Homer with the pink sedan, Bart with the soapbox car, Marge in the Canyonero, Lisa in the Electoris, Grandpa in the Shiner's cart, Willie in the tractor, Krusty in the clown car, Apu in the sports car, Barney in the Plow King, Moe in his green sedan, Otto in the convertible version of the school bus, Wiggum in the police car, Flanders in his station wagon, the Mr. Plow version of Homer, Lovejoy in the book-burning mobile, Snake in the Little Bandit, Professor Frink in the flying car, plus a bonus secret car made for Homer and Mr. Burns' limo. You can also unlock special Christmas versions of the characters. It is fun to try out all these different vehicles from the shows accompanied by quips from the characters.
Oh, I ruined my good kilt.
But if you're looking to actually beat the game and collect the most money, then just use Professor Frank's car. It's by far the best. The driving mechanics in Road Rage are pretty janky in general, especially when applied to the bigger, heavier vehicles which have a tendency to just fly off the road. Plus sometimes you will just get stuck if you're going where the game doesn't want you to. Now most of these vehicles would end up being reused in Radical's next Simpsons game, Hit and Run. In fact, Road Rage very much feels like a Hit and Run 0.5. It has many of the same vehicles, the driving controls feel very similar, and they share a lot of the same dialogue. But the biggest similarity is probably the maps. Road Rage is broken down into 6 maps, each filled with all sorts of Simpsons landmarks and Easter eggs. The first is Evergreen Terrace. This map is home to locations such as the Simpsons house, the Quickie Mart, the school, the church, the House of Burlesque. All of these maps are also filled with billboards from the show, like the Beef one, the Itchy and Scratchy movie, and the Planet of the Apes musical. The next map is the Entertainment District, home to Moe's, the Duff Brewery, Planet Hype, Sir Potterlot, the Googleplex, and the bowling alley. There is also a map based around the Springfield Dam. It has the Stonecutters Lodge, the K Radio Tower, Rancho Relaxo, Camp Krusty, and the dam itself, which you can drive right off. And I like the one random NPC at the bottom of the river. The power plant map is pretty self-explanatory, although it is home to the shopping mall and the baseball stadium. The downtown map probably has the most locations and Easter eggs, including the Jebediah Springfield statue, the town hall, the escalator that goes nowhere, the monorail, the airport with the black box bar, the Burns Casino, the parade, and the stadium with the Truckosaurus that eats cars. And finally, we have the mountain map with the tire fire, the world's biggest toilet, the house made of solid gold, and the Springfield Gorge. Oh, not the mascot again. Whoops, that lady went flying. Wait, is that Lurleen Lumpkin from the country music episode? Oh, look, she just keeps on going. Okay, I think we're good. Oh no, not the Burns bus. Ambulance, you want to do something about this? What I find interesting is that originally all 6 of the maps were supposed to be interconnected, plus the original alpha version of the game had an art style much closer to the show. But apparently, after playing the alpha build, Matt Groening himself asked Radical to make it look a bit more 3D. These new textures were a lot more resource intensive, and due to the short development cycle, the developers decided to break the map into 6 separate chunks. The footage you see here is from YouTuber P2P Online, who made a great video about the development of Road Rage, so definitely check it out. Radical Entertainment would take many of the elements and locations from the Road Rage map and rework them to create the 3 open world segments in The Simpsons Hit and Run, which they would release 2 years later. Now, in addition to the Road Rage mode, there are also a few missions that you can play. These either have you racing to a location or running over things. My favorite being this one, where Barney has had enough of all these random mascots and decided to take them all out in the Plow King. But I think the most memorable mode for many of us is the 2-player split screen. You see, Road Rage came out around the same time as the Xbox and GameCube launch. Plus, this was only the second holiday season for the PlayStation 2. So the game became a natural stocking stuffer for Christmas of 2001 and would become one of the first multiplayer games many of us experienced on the 6th generation of consoles. The multiplayer is simple but addictive. You've got to be the first person to get to the passenger and then take them to the location across the map, but the other player can steal them at any moment by ramming you, which made for some Mario Kart level inducing rage, as your friends would just wait at the drop-off point and steal the passenger at the very last moment. Okay, now let's do a quick comparison of the 3 console versions. They are essentially the same game, however the GameCube and Xbox seem to have a bit more of a visual boost. Here are some comparisons so you can decide which you think looks best.
I need to go to the Quickie Mart to get zit cream. A lot of zit cream. Yeah, great.
There was a fire, and, Principal Skinner and all the teachers burned up. To the Quickie Mart, at once!
Damn, great. Uplifting. Careful, don't sit on my nachos.
Now, in addition to the console version, Road Rage was also released for the Game Boy Advance, and this version is as faithful as you can get on the GBA. Look, it even has the same menu and modes. All the drivers and cars except for poor Flanders and Lovejoy also make an appearance. The gameplay is pretty much the same, only now it's played across this Super Nintendo Mario Kart style flat map. The developers did try to give the map elevation using these weird parallax effects, but it always made my eyes go funny. The flat structure of the map does also sometimes make it hard to know where you're supposed to be going. The roads naturally have less cars on them, but there's still enough to provide obstacles. Damn it, ambulance, come on, get out of the way! Unfortunately, there is no save function, instead you have to use the old password system. Now, just like with the console version, there are 6 maps, but there are some differences. Many of the maps include these tunnels that break them up by theme. Evergreen Terrace and the Entertainment District are the same. The Springfield Dam is kind of the same, but the flat graphics mean that the dam is more of a lake this time. The downtown map is different. This one has a sunset by the water theme, which is similar to the Harbor District in Hit and Run. Plus, there is now a new country road map, which is split into 3 sections. The nuclear power plant, the farm area where you can run over these giant chickens, and then this beach area straight out of Outrun. Just sent a car flying into the ocean. Never mind. All of the modes from the console version are present in the GBA game, including multiplayer via link cable, plus the missions, only this time Barney doesn't so much run over the mascots as absorb them. Plus the GBA version also has a performance mode where you have to cause as much chaos as possible to make your passengers happy. And so there we have it, the Simpsons Road Rage. Yes, it is a Crazy Taxi clone, and it can be a bit janky, but it's still as fun as it was all those years ago. The handheld version is surprisingly full of content, while the console version would go on to lay the groundwork for one of the best Simpsons games ever made. But that's just my take. Please let me know your memories of the Simpsons Road Rage in the comments below. What was your favorite vehicle, your favorite map, and how many times did you run over Mole Man?
All I know is pain.
As always, thanks for watching. Please consider supporting me on Patreon, and a huge thanks to all my existing patrons. Also, if you've enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.